So you're saying that just because the customer said yes to a meeting, it doesn't mean we earned the right to ask questions?
It does mean you've earned the right to have a conversation. You still have to earn the right to ask those questions in a way that doesn't feel intrusive to them,
Okay.
right? So I'll take a step back and say that, you know, I have a firm belief that there's no such thing as a buyer's journey. There's only a seller's journey, right? There's a buyer's experience. The buyer had some experience before we have this conversation that made them want to have this conversation. Even if it's a cold call, we resonated something. There's some story in their head. That doesn't mean I get to pick up the phone and ask them about budget yet. That doesn't mean I get
Okay.
to ask them, oh, so is the CFO going to sign this? Like I have to earn the right to get there. And I need to do it in a way that's not manipulative, that is genuinely sincere and empathetic, and also do it in a way that lets us all play on the same level, right? That we're on an even playing field, right? Where it's just a conversation. So for me, that's what it means to earn the right to ask questions.
That's great. Generally speaking, SEs don't ask about budget or if the CFO is going to
Of
sign
course.
on this. But we do ask questions that kind of open up the kimono where we are highlighting
Yes.
their faults and weaknesses and their mistakes that they've done so
Indeed.
far. So I'm
Yeah.
curious, like when you, like maybe it will help my like solution engineers as well. How do you earn the right to start asking about budget or
Yeah.
asking the personal questions, if you will?
Yeah. No, this is a great way to describe it. The really personal stuff, right? The stuff
Yeah,
mom and
yeah,
dad told us to never talk about.
yeah.
Um, so I think you want to be very upfront with someone, and there's, I call it a respect contract, and there's a different one. In a first conversation, I might just say, hey, look, I know we're on this fact finding mission to figure out what you're trying to solve for and see if what we does works for you. So I want to make sure it's okay we can ask each other questions, and everybody knows that you can. It's just better when it's heard and said out loud because they're going to say, yes, you can ask me questions, and yes, I want to ask you questions. So that's the short version. When a sales engineer or solution engineer enters the picture, it's often around, and you correct me on this one, it could be around, hey, I know you want to see this. I know this is what I've been told you want to see. Before I jump into it and kill you with 1,000 mouse clicks, what pain are you trying to solve so that I show you the right stuff? Right. And they're going to start to tell us now, and then they're going to say, oh, well, this is the pain we're solving. And then whether it's the salesperson or the sales or solutions engineer can go, okay, well, wait, hold on a second. Tell me a little bit more because we hear this a lot, but I know it's very different for you than everybody else I talk to. So they're because I'm asking them what they want to see or what they want to talk about, and then asking for further clarification, it's building that trust, right? I think the biggest piece, I have lots of isms. One of my biggest isms is that, it's not our job in sales to get people to fall in love with us. It's our job to get them to fall in trust with us. And that's where a good sales engineer, solutions engineer comes in. That's when your brain comes in and wows them because you've got a deeper level of understanding. You've seen it or done it 20 other times where maybe me as a salesperson knows about it but hasn't done it. And so y'all, in my opinion, y'all are the trust factor. Like you're the trusty glue, right? That puts it all
Yeah.
together, in my opinion.
I agree with that, but I also think that a lot of salespeople do. If in enterprise sales,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of salespeople do build trust with their customers. It's just that when you come to smaller deals,
Mm-hmm.
there isn't enough time to show that I'm not the sleazy salesperson.
Yeah, totally. And again, like by the way, every person your prospect or customer talks to is a part of building the trust, right? Like
Yes.
I've got to get them to fall in trust with me to want them to take that next meeting with you.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Together, we work together so that they fall further in trust with us to
Yeah.
then take it up the chain at their organization or start to run through a POC or whatever. So it's not all one or the other, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's got their hand in this trust cookie jar.